Hey, what's up, you guys? This is a little quick video. I got my new wheels in and received the front splitter and rear spats and little side skirt from Artwork Body Shop out in Canada. And I just want to show you the fitment of it, and you can compare the stock wheels to the Alibaba offset and then this offset. So the offset on these Advans are 45 millimeter offset, and on my Alibaba they were 50 millimeter, and the stock is 60. Now these tires are 275 35 19, and so they do have a bigger sidewall. It's about 1 inch diameter taller or bigger, and maybe about half an inch wider. Now I am running I forgot if it's H&R or H&S lowering springs, and it's lowered about 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little less, somewhere around there. So it's not a full inch drop, but you can see that it has closed the gap on the tire to the fender or the wheel well, and I didn't have to drop it an inch. Okay, I did not have to drop it an inch at all. I didn't need that because of the bigger sidewall. So I had some comments. Some people were saying, "Hey, I can run this offset and this tire and all this. Everything's on combinations, man. Be careful about people that are saying, yeah, you can drop it an inch and fit this offset. You can't, depending on your tire size. I think if I dropped the car like 1.25 inches, I would have for sure rubbed. I already kind of rub slightly going in and out of driveways with this setup. Again, it's lowered about 3/4 of an inch. This is what the 45 millimeter offset, 275 35 19, and these are 19 by 9.5. So I do rub a little bit going in and out of driveways on the front, depending on the angle or how much steering angle I have in. And I think I rub maybe a little bit on some major dips on the freeway or something like that on the rear, and I had some people in the car. But again, it's nothing major. When I'm cruising around town, 99.9% of the time I am not rubbing. But if I think like Swift Springs, it lowers the vehicle about 1.25 inches or so, I would for sure rub with this tire and wheel combination. Now, another thing to keep note of is that not all tires, even though they'll say they're a 275 width, some tires are running wider than others. My experience with Falken, they run true to size, if not a little bit wider. Bridgestone, for instance, with the RE71s, my experience is that they're extremely narrow. The needle invos, for instance, are extremely wide. So that's another thing to keep note of if you're going to be running, an aggressive offset or an aggressive tire size. But I'm really happy with these Advans. There was nothing wrong with the Alibabas. The Alibabas were perfect. I still have those. I'm going to re-powder coat them because I want them gloss. I regret kind of going matte with that. And I'm also going to do the inner barrel black. I should have done that right from the beginning. They would have done that for me from Alibaba at any spec that I wanted. But I'm going to go and redo that. These Advans, again, they fit perfect. They're obviously a little bit more flush than my AliExpress wheels because I added, this is a 45 millimeter offset. The Alis were 50. So, and the Alis did not rub at all. I know that 5 millimeter maybe made a little bit of difference. Again, these rub just a little bit, again, going in and out of driveways. Now, let's talk about the rear spats and the little side skirt. I went with this company because there was some other, front splitters or front spoilers and side skirts that were a little bit too loud for me. They looked a little too tuners, like some shit that you would see from fucking Fast and Furious in the 90s and shit. I like more of like a OEM type look. I think if Acura was gonna do one, it would maybe something subtle like this. So this is the front splitter. This was added. It's plastic. I didn't get no carbon fiber or anything like that. This is from a company out in Canada called Artwork Body Shop. That's their little sticker on there. You can see right there. But everything is plastic. It's not carbon fiber. I think they have a carbon fiber. It's all one piece. But it's pretty subtle. It rubs a little bit. I don't give a shit, you know, going in and out of driveways. You know, the little road rashes underneath. Here's the little like side skirt. Again, nothing crazy. Very subtle. It makes it look a little bit lower than what it is. And then I got the rear spat. That's what they call it. And again, everything's matte. This is gloss, this is matte. Real happy with it. Again, very, very subtle. But it made a huge difference. It made a huge difference, man. I'm really happy with it. I think the look is perfect. I think these dudes do shit with muscle cars too. There's not a lot of, you know, Type R. They have a lot of front splitters and, you know, rear diffusers and all kinds of shit. There's not a lot of stuff for the Type S. There's not as many Type S's as there is Type R's. So I understand that. So my options were limited. But I don't think I would go. I don't want to change this at all, man. I'm really happy with it. So, okay. So there's a Type R right there. So again, man, just wanted to show you guys the fitment. See if I had any issues with it. But this is fucking flush, and I think it looks even better than the Alibaba wheels. That 5mm offset made a difference, you know. And I think that the little side skirt and the front air dam too, it made a huge difference. I'm really happy with it, man. But here's the look. I think it looks perfect. It's nice and tucked in there. Again, these are those H&R H&S springs, 45mm offset. I'll put all the specs in the comments so you know. And again, I do rub a little bit going in and out of driveways, depending on how much steering angle I have in. And again, Artwork Body Shop, front splitter, side skirt, and spats, man. But the fucking car looks, it fucking looks good, man. Oh, one thing that I'm having issues with, actually I'll do another video on that, talking about the only issue I have. It's nothing major, but I'm getting rocks stuck in between my front rotor and that I guess rear little splash guard or heat guard or whatever behind the rotor. I know it's an issue with the Type R's, but I'll do another video on that. But hope you guys like it. If you guys got any comments or questions, drop me a like. I'm going to keep those Alibabas. On those Alibabas, I'm going to put the Falken, I think the 510s, more of a street tire. I'm going to take these off. And when I go to the track or in the summertime, I'll keep the 200 tread in the Advans. And if I'm going to be cruising around, you know, for more of a street tire, I'm going to put the Falken 510s on the Alibabas once I get them out of powder coating. I haven't dropped them off yet. I'm still going to keep the stocks just because this car's rare. I think this car's special, and I want to keep the stock wheels just so I have all the OEM shit still with it. Drop a like, man. If you got any questions or comments or what you prefer or specs that you have in mind, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know. Peace.